Greetings, you have entered the Monte Cristo Dog Show Zone. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome to the Monte Cristo Dog Show, where we will talk about classic movies, TV shows, and other interesting things. So relax and enjoy the Monte Cristo Dog Show.
Greetings, greetings. Today we're going to talk about another dead end kid. We're going to be talking about Huntz Hall. Huntz Hall. I don't know if you know who he is. He's the one that did Satch on the Bowery Boys, but he had a role in the Dead End Kids, and he even starred in the East Side Kids, and he was a great actor. And I do have an article that I'm going to post on my Facebook wall on my Facebook page. Classic movie nostalgia, and I'm going to be posting it there, and I'm going to post the link to it on my podcast if you have a chance to read the podcast. But I'm going to give you the title of my Facebook page so that you could see it, and you could. It's a good article. I wrote that years ago when I was writing for Hub Pages, and it has a lot of good information for you Bowery Boys fans. That it's called Classic Movies Nostalgia. Classic Movies Nostalgia Facebook. I have a couple of Facebook pages. That's why I have a hard time remembering them, but I have quite a few. But you can look it up, and I'm going to post a link on the Bowery Boys. But we're going to talk about Huntz Hall, and we're going to talk about his life. He was born on August 5, 1919. I don't know if that's really his real birthday. Some people have him born in 1920. He got his name Huntz from his brother, who said that his nose made him look German. He was also chosen to act in the play Dead End, along with the Dead End Kids. Through a long string of successes, he started to make a name for himself. And after he made a name for himself through the Dead End Kids, and then he transitioned into the East Side Kids, he enlisted in the Army during World War II. And when he was discharged, he starred in some Army movies. And there was another film that he made for the Navy, and we're going to go through that later on, to that fact about he filmed a short film for the Navy. He demonstrated his talent for drama in A Walk in the Sun. He was one of the private soldiers there, and he was the funny guy in the Bowery Boys. He was always getting hit with a hat from his boss' slip. He had some classic moments. I think this Bowery Boys, they deserve some mention, and the young generation needs to see what comedy was like in the 50s. Huntz Hall had some roles in the 60s and 70s and other movies, making an appearance in Valentino. Amen. And I have another thing here that gives me more information on Huntz Hall. He appeared in 1943. He appeared in the U.S. Navy training film, and that's close to my heart because I'm a Navy veteran. The U.S. Navy training film, Don't Kill Your Friends, as moronic ensign Dilbert the pilot who carelessly causes the death of a civilian and 3 servicemen. In 1948, he was arrested for possession of marijuana. His trial held in 1949 resulted in a hung jury. And he later played the increasingly buffoonish Horace Debussy Satch Jones in 48 of the Bowery Boys film, and along with Leo Gorcey. And in the 60s, they reunited in Second Fiddle to a Steel Guitar, 1966, and the Sphinx, 1969. I had a hard time pronouncing that word, and I wasn't sure how it was pronounced, so I butchered it yesterday, so forgive me. But he also appeared in a lot of other films as The Return of Dr. X, A Walk in the Sun, 1945, Gentle Giant, 1967, Herbie Rides Again, 1978, and the Manchu Eagle Murder Caper Mystery, 1975, opposite Gabriel Dell, another former Bowery Boy. And people may not know it, but they teamed up to do a comedy act in nightclubs. And he was also one of the celebrities featured on the cover of the Beatles album, 1967 album, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band. In 1971, he co-starred with Art Metrano and Jamie Farr in the CBS situation comedies, The Chicago Teddy Bears. I don't know if you remember that. That was a funny show back in '71. He was he had a part in that, and he was very active. And in 1976 he appeared in Tong, the dog who saved Hollywood. In 1977 he played movie mogul Jesse Lansky in Valentino. His other films, Gas Pump Girls and The Escape Artist, 1982. The later reuniting him with Gabriel Bedell. His final film appearance was Annie Lee's Meat Pie, 1993, and he performed in dinner theater productions and then retired in 1994. Let me tell you, I really like the acting of Huntz Hall. He was a dramatic actor as well as a good comedian. And I got a list of his films here. And Dead End, he had the role of Dippy. In Crime School, he was known as Goofy, a little tough guy, which is it was also one of my favorite. Although it had a couple of slow moments. I do apologize for the background noise. Somebody's riding their motorcycle. Little Tough Guy, Pig, Angels with Dirty Faces, Crab, Swing Time in the Movies, himself. They Made Me a Criminal, Dippy, Hell's Kitchen, Bingo, Angels Wash Their Faces, Huntz, Call a Messenger. That one was, it was all right. It was fair. I wouldn't say that it was my favorite, The Call a Messenger. It had its funny moments, but it was just a little lackluster. But he starred in that movie as Pig, and that movie, Call a Messenger, one of the Three Stooges, Shemp, had a bit role there. And on Dress Parade, he was Cadet Johnny Cabot. The Return of Dr. X, he was Pinky. You're Not Too Tough, Albert Pig. Junior G-Man, that's a cliffhanger series, movie serials that they used to have. The Dead End Kids starred in some new movie serials. In case you don't know what's a movie serial, it's one of those movie serials that you see back in the 40s and 50s, when you used to go to the movies, they used to show a little episode of 15 minutes and they would have a cliffhanger so that you could continue to come and see it. They had usually 15 chapters, and they made movie serials on Superman, Batman, the Phantom, even Captain America. And I like them. I really like those serials because they put you on edge. I didn't like the fact that when I used to see these movie serials, they had them on TV. I used to get frustrated because I had to wait till the next day for the episode, to see what happened in the episode. And it would always leave you in a cliffhanger. I think the Batman movie serials were very well done. I liked it for the time. It was all right. It was well done. They had a couple of things there, but I liked the first movie serial of the Batman. But that's just my opinion. But let me get back on the Bowery Boys and Huntz Hall. Give Us Wings. He had the role of Pig. Hit the Road, Pig, Grogan, Bowery Bricks Clean, Limpy, Sea Raiders, Toby Nelson, Spooks Run Wild, Glimpy, Mobtown, Pig. Oh, you can see all this. I'm going to put a link on it because I don't want to wear you guys out on all these names. Amen. So let me tell you, there's a lot of things here. I like the Bowery Blitzkrieg. It was a good movie. I think that's the one where Danny gets beat up. I'm not too sure. I know there's one where Bobby Jordan gets beat up. And I tell you, the East Side Kids, they made real good movies. I really enjoyed, and up to this day, I really like the East Side Kids. I'm gonna look at the Bowery Blitzkrieg here. It's a 1941 film and the sixth installment of the East Side Kids, and And it talks here that two police officers patrolling the streets of New York City. This is at Wikipedia. New York City's Bowery discussed the lamentable fact that most of the young kids in the neighborhood will turn to crime and end up in jail. One exception, they agree, is Danny Breslin, a young boxer who is studying economics and destined for success. And this is a good movie where Danny, I believe he gets shot. In this one, Danny, I believe he gets shot. If I'm not mistaken, let me check and see. Let me keep on reading here. I think this is the one where he gets shot. And I think that Muggs, which is Leo Gorcey, he volunteers by giving blood, and Muggs is fighting, and he's a boxer. And the doctor told him not to do any physical exercise, but he goes in there and boxes anywhere. It's a good movie. It's a real good movie, and I think that it's well worth your time to see it. But there's another one that Danny got beat up, and it was a touching movie. And I think that they made a lot of good movie, but one of the ones that I really liked was the Blues Busters and Crashing Las Vegas. Huntz Hall held his own, even though Leo Gorcey left the series. He was replaced by Stanley Clements, and he held his own. But then, alas, it just finished. The series came to an end. But let me say this to the young generations who are hearing me: it's well worth looking at these episodes of the Dead End Kids, East Side Kids, and the Bowery Boys. They were very well made, and I never get tired of watching them. Well, that's my take for today on the life of Huntz Hall. Possibly tomorrow, I may look into the life of Bobby Jordan. We're going to be looking at the spotlight of the Bowery Boys, the Dead End Kids. Let me know your thoughts. I'm here giving this live broadcast. There may be moments that I may have a pre-recorded broadcast, but for now, I'm doing live broadcast. Talk to me, people. Let me know what you think, because I'm here to and engage you guys into conversations. Amen. Because this is a podcast this is not only my podcast, but it's your podcast, and I'm going to give you the platform to share your thoughts. Okay, well, tomorrow we're going to meet at 12:30. In the meantime, you enjoy the rest of your day. So this is Monte Cristo Dog, Caleb Angel Santos, signing out. Have a blessed day.
Hope that you have enjoyed our show. Tune in tomorrow at 12 noon for another episode of the Monte Cristo Dog Show.
Correction, 12:30. Bye-bye.